Hey everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of Bits and Boxes. I'm alone today for the first few minutes, but I have a colleague that I'll invite soon into the stream. We wanted to do something different this time out. We wanted to go a bit beyond the capabilities of Code Sandbox inside the engineering team, and we wanted to talk with you about some of the patterns that we use at work, some of the collaboration patterns that we discovered with cloud development in the past few years, involving colleagues from the marketing team, from the design team, and so on. So before we get started, I just want to kind of recap a bit where we at with Code Sandbox so far. We went. If you haven't seen some of our previous episodes, I do encourage you to go back and follow those. We talked briefly about how to set up your workspace in Code Sandbox, how to invite colleagues, how to collaborate on branches. We talked about this unique model that Code Sandbox brings with one branch per VM, where your all the branches that are being worked on are shared between the team. And we also talked about collaboration in general, working with pull requests, and about how you set up the repository and how you set up your first project if you go back all the way to the first episode. So today I want to do something different. I'm going to go back to the dashboard here, and actually I want to show you how the actual dashboard that we use on a regular basis looks like in Code Sandbox. So we do actually have our Code Sandbox team, which has a ton of repositories. Pretty much everyone working at Code Sandbox has the repositories here. And what's really cool is that since I jump between multiple projects, I have a bunch of these repositories here on the homepage, so I can very easily create like a new branch on any of them. So in order to what I want to showcase today is, for example, how I can involve one of my colleagues on reviewing a change on the docs website. I'm going to open this, and meanwhile, I'm going to ask my colleague Filipe to join.
Hey.
And we're going to talk about, hey, how's it going?
Great.
Love the hat.
Yeah, winter.
I was showcasing earlier, like the cam actually, like the blur makes the best part of this hat kind of go away. So I'm pretty sad about that. Like, let's see if I can.
Yeah, it needs some styling.
That's a pretty wintry hat. Okay, so we are. I just created a new branch. Again, a quick reminder: the VM instantly started. I have a unique branch now that I can work on. You saw how fast everything started, and I'm going to use the component inspector to. Now, actually, I want to find a specific page here that I want to work on. Right now, I'm actually working on the repository import flow. It's going to have a few interesting changes to it. And I want to change this title from like import a repository to like create a repository, or start, actually. But it's better term, like start a new repository. Because soon in Code Sandbox, you're going to be able to not only just import an existing GitHub repository, but also start from a template. So that's why I asked Filipe here because he's usually reviewing some of these copy changes that we do on the project. So I asked him to help me out. So how this would normally work then is I made this change. I'm going to commit this on this branch. I'm going to go to GitHub to open the pull request, and I'm going to add Filipe on the reviewers list. I'm going to say, please review the copy changes. And the nice thing with the repository being set up with Code Sandbox, again, we talked about it last time. You do get this automatic comment from Code Sandbox, so you can easily open the editor, open the preview. The nice thing is that we also have real-time events being pushed towards other colleagues. So if Filipe was now in the dashboard, he would see probably a notification that I asked for his review on this particular branch.
Yeah, let's try it out, I guess. Yeah. Let me go to my screen then. Okay, so I see that the bell has something here. And yeah, I was requested by Alex to review a docs PR. Let me click this. Hopefully it's an easy one. And okay, yeah, as Alex mentioned, I can see pretty much everything here I need. So I have the description, please review the copy changes. I can see what was changed here. Well, and actually, nice, I can see that Alex is actually here on this line of code, and that he changed this to start a new repository. So actually, I can...
go ahead, sir. Just spending a moment here. This is one of the main differences between what what we're doing here and the flows that you would normally get with something like Vercel or Netlify, which would build your app and then you have the preview link. So the same flow could work. Like you could see the link in the GitHub thread. But now what happens is that you're actually joining me in the same session. As you look at the top there, you basically I could still be in the same branch. So it doesn't necessarily mean we have to live collaborate on the review itself, but it just shows that the branch, whether it is under review or whether it is under development, it is the same branch, it is the same VM, and that one branch, one VM thing makes it very easy to share work and to get everyone else onboarded very fast. Like you didn't have to set up anything, right, to have this up and running, which is great to have.
Oh yeah, I don't think I even have Node installed on my laptop, so everything is pretty much running here. I'm relying on Code Sandbox for spinning up and running everything for me. But yeah, I can easily see the changes. Like this looks good to me. So in good old fashion, I'll just say looks great. And let me go ahead and
we're not encouraging superficial code reviews, by the way, but this is just for the sake of the
demo. And yeah, so I see that my review got through. I approved it, and Alex, you should be fine to, I guess, merge the PR, which should speed up the whole process. And so this is, of course, a very simplistic view into a flow. But as you said, Alex, this is something we use pretty much, I guess, every day in Code Sandbox to make us more agile and move faster. And I think this is also a good place to show a different flow that I think it's quite empowering to someone that's not on a technical and an engineering team, which is just seeing how you can, because of this one branch, one VM, the environment is pre-configured for you, how this kind of empowers me as a marketing professional to make some changes. So let's say I go back to my dashboard. I'll go to my Code Sandbox workspace. And let's say I want to make a change to the website. So I have the site here. I just need to click a button. And then that's I think the most amazing thing we have is that I don't even need to worry about whatever is going on behind the scenes. I just know that my my repo, the website repo is here. It's all ready to go. Actually, let me go to the main branch. I think this is an old branch I had opened. So I'm going back to my main branch. There we go. So this is whatever we have right now on the main branch in production. But let's say I want to make a change, which is quite often make a change to the website. Let's say I want to change this button here. So like Alex was doing before, I can use this content inspector to make it easier for me. I can pick this component. I get to the code for this component, and here it's like a no-brainer. I can easily see what kind of change I need to make. Let's say I want to do something like get started coding, something like this, let's say. And I'll save my changes. And here I think this is something you covered, Alex, in the previous episode, what we call seamless branching, which, long story short, for someone like me, what this means is that I can make changes without worrying that I'm, committing to the main branch, or I'm, needing to go through a lot of steps to make things work. When I save my changes, it created a brand new branch for me that I can safely, make my changes on. And yeah, I can already see that it's here. The changes I made are here in the website. And yeah, so one thing we can do from here, let's say I'm not entirely sure how to change the color of this button. So I see there's lime here, but I'm not sure like what other options I have. What I can do is actually share this with Alex. So I'll go here, I'll share the URL. I'll send this through Slack to Alex. And Alex, if you can join me here. Actually, I think I sent the wrong URL, Alex. Let me share the right one. And you should be able to join me, hopefully.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw the second one now.
Okay. There I see Alex. So
yeah.
Let's say, like, Alex, like, can we change this to our secondary brand color, like the button?
Yeah, we can try. I think since the button has this kind of line prop that you can pass, we can try changing it to something like purple or something else. I'm not sure. Maybe the design team would not approve this, but
we can. Well, good thing they're not here, so we can get creative, I guess. Purple. Let's see, like, purple, if it works then. Save. Okay. It does work. I'm not sure if this is the best choice, but I'm feeling lucky, so let's we can just say, like, we would go ahead and so just to kind of close the loop here, if I would be happy with these changes, I would just go ahead and create a PR on GitHub and then tag Alex for a review, kind of what we showed before with the docs changes, but in the opposite, I guess, direction. So this would make it super simple for me to to propose a change to the website. And again, it's a copy change, it's a color change, definitely something I can get done if I know how to, or I have an easy way to run the code, which is what essentially Code Sandbox is giving me here.
Yeah, I personally have seen this in my career, where we always worked in teams where like designers and marketers were eager to help out, but it was always this kind of barrier of having they first of all, even the fact that they had to have a laptop that runs everything, like runs Node. For example, most of the developers might work on very high-end devices because of their local environment needs, but a lot of times in companies you would have maybe I'm not sure what's your past experience with this, Filipe, but maybe marketers were not getting like the most high-end devices, right? So then it was pretty tricky to run anything there or to set up the project. And then, of course, once you set up the project, that becomes outdated very fast, right? Because developers are working and are adding new packages. Maybe you're updating your Node version at some point, and it just becomes there's a lot of friction into getting people from outside of the immediate engineering team to start collaborating or start actually contributing to these projects. And I've seen this huge change with Code Sandbox, because we were able to basically split these tasks between everyone in the team, whether it was like the PM updating some docs or doing changes to content. We have our founders usually even setting aside the fact that Yves is very well inside the engineering team, but even like a more non-technical founder can very easily go on and help out with any changes to any of these kind of products or docs, again, websites, dashboards, whatever it is that the company is building.
Yeah, you're spot on there, Alex. And the way I've seen it, just from past experience, the code base used to be this kind of black box as a marketer, you know? So I would want to make sometimes a simple change like this. And, you know, people that might be watching that have a marketing role might relate to this. Like you would go create a Jira ticket, and then you put all the description, then you put a priority, you put a due date, you add that. Maybe the engineering team picks it up next week, and maybe it's not part, you know, within scope, so it gets delayed more than additional week. And as a marketer, you have to wait around and negotiate and spend time trying to fit that simple copy change or link change or something for, you know, 2 weeks, while you could do it in a few minutes. And that's, I think, the brilliance here of Code Sandbox, is having that shortcut between, you know, access to the code base, opening up that black box. Not that I would go around and learn to code, but there are simple changes that I should be able to make. And that has been my experience here at Code Sandbox. And one of the best things I've experienced personally, like as a marketer here, is just how fast I can suggest changes, review changes, all of these flows that we showed today, without needing to get into the technical bits. I can just go around the code and ask for help, like I did with here with the purple color. I can ask like a colleague to help me out quickly. So no, you know, back and forth with screenshots, no, you know, long conversations and politics involved. If it's set up, I can just be a bit more autonomous. And this is, I believe, a game changer for teams.
Yeah, it's so nice to see this working after some years of development, because it was one of the original goals when we started building this new code sandbox. It was like 3 years ago, 3 years, maybe even more. That was one of the core ideas, like how can we lower the entry barrier for team members, so that you don't have, you know, the code is actually really the source of truth for all for the projects that the product team is working on, but it doesn't have to be fully owned by the developers or by the engineering team, right? It can be shared between pretty much anyone that is comfortable just fiddling through the code, finding the source of a certain text, or you know, finding how to change components, and just act on that. And we're really hoping that we can push this even forward. With we had some very interesting internal ideas, similar experiments, for example, with the inspector thing that we showcased. But for example, being able to, you know, inspect the component and have some sort of a UI generated on top of that to be able to control some of its props, kind of like a Figma-like experience, if you want, but just on top of the code. I think there are some very interesting potential developments here in the near future.
Yeah, and I guess just a final word from my side before I move it on to you, Alex, is if anyone out that's watching this kind of this message resonates with them, just this making that code base a bit more accessible and autonomous for non-technical roles. This I would say just give it a shot with Code Sandbox. Some people, I guess, would think that it's like a big, you know, there are a lot of steps to get it working, and it's like a big overhead. But from our experience, just talking with different teams, it's most often not the case, and it's something you can get going in a few minutes by yourself, setting up the repo and getting it working for the team. And what we showed today is something that within a day you could get working, and enabling that for your whole team. So I would just say, give it a shot. It's we've made it pretty easy to get started. And would be happy to just have these chats with other folks out there that would love to try this experience.
Yeah, this was very nice, and I'm super happy that we managed to share this kind of like different collaboration pattern, and we're going to try to expand on this as well in the next episodes. So thank you for your time, Filipe, and thank you all for joining again, and I guess see you in the next episode, hopefully next week. Have a great weekend, everyone.